Mm-hmm.
It came to fulfill the law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my question is, fulfill which law? Not the Levitical law or Moses' law. Well, my question, what law is he referring to when he said, I came not to abolish the law?
Well, that's a good question.
Fulfill the law.
And the answer to that is unfortunately pretty complicated.
It's not just a simple, but either it's a part of the Mosaic law.
Mm-hmm. So the question is, what part of the law?
Would that have to do with the ceremonial laws that were practiced in the Old Testament?
Mm-hmm.
In Colossians, Christ says ordinances and those things were done away.
Mm-hmm.
So they're referring to the slaughtering of the lamb and sacrifice of animals and burnt sacrifice offerings. Those, I believe that's what he's referring. As far as that law is no longer. Perhaps if I had been like you scientifically minded, my whole journey would have been totally different.
Well, I think the answer to your question really is read the Sermon on the Mount very carefully and read the whole Gospel of Matthew very thoughtfully, and the answer will come to you. Because all the laws and the prophets are summarized by the golden rule.
But I think a lot of your answers that you've discovered for yourself are, in my own opinion, I think are a minority. Because I don't think there's any group out there that you could share in a study about what you've discovered that you could actually just, basically tell.
That's right. Actually, there are scholarly groups who share my opinions.
Right, but I'm talking about outside the scholarly world. I don't think there's anybody out there. There might be, but I haven't, from what you've said and shared, I haven't seen anybody.
Well, the scholarly world is a big place, and there are thousands of people who have studied the same texts and histories that I'm talking about. And
what's your average layman? An average believer in study groups, I don't think there's a soul that you've been able to, I'm guessing, talk to about.
That's true. You cannot go to any kind of average Bible study or church discussion group or sermon series and get the things that are.
Because when I met you, I kind of said to myself, why doesn't he ever bring this up to EC or anybody that I know that he knows? Why doesn't he ever just? Everybody else seems to share what they believe. Why doesn't David ever say anything? Yeah, that was my.
Well, there's a certain
at that time.
There's a certain futility because there's so much preparation that needs to be done in order to be qualified to talk about and know these things. And the vast majority of people that you'll ever run into in a church or in Bible study don't have that preparation. I
think you hold these certain things very sacred, I think. And I think another reason is you don't want to cast your pearls out in swine either.
That's true. You're supposed to be discreet. And you have to evaluate the maturity level of people. And God is so much better and more skillful in revealing things as people need to know them. That's why God is really their teacher, not me or anybody else.
I think I remember you telling me in the past, probably different maybe now in 2013, but I think I remember you telling me one time you were your experiences of what you discovered and searching for was almost kind of like you were like the, I don't know, modern Joseph Smith. You were just like, because you often were, churches, everything out there in Christianity was not appealing to you. You just kind of like you had your out in the woods experience, symbolically, meaning when you discovered the Didache
Mm-hmm.
and discovered other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In this book I'm reading, the series by Jean Daniel, the French scholar, is incredibly brilliant. And I'd say that's one of the better, it's a multi-volume series about early Christian history. It's probably the best I've ever read.
But I do like what you reflect back to what you've said to me before. I like what you've said. I don't remember how you said it. The main thing is you connected, connection between Islam and Mormonism, and God had a reason.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. This is right. See, the amazing thing is that, as I believe, God is never absent. God is always involved in everything, whether it's even a false revelation or a corrupted one. God is still there. God is so amazingly omnipotent or omnipresent that he can use the revelation of Joseph Smith or the revelation of Muhammad. Yeah, all these things have powerful meaning.
Or even look at, what's that guy's name that's not Swedenborg?
Lorber.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
God is omnipotent. He can use all these things, but there's going to always be, as you said, sacred and secret things, or mysteries.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Mysteries, right? And to me, the most powerful insight, in a simple way, is that God is always speaking in parables. In other words, he's giving us the storyline without necessarily giving us the right interpretation. And when God gave us the Mormon religion and Joe Smith and
Islam,
that was a story. That's a parable. It's not really a religion. In my view, it's not really.
It's a parable?
Yeah, it's a parable.
Could you rightfully say, we could say a parable in the sense that obviously not everything is right out there. Because there's things out there like, I don't know how you used to say Christendom to you was like, wilted lettuce. It's like, that's why you can't stand evangelical Protestantism. I mean, I just remember some of the things reflecting that you said.
Well,
if you want to look at external evidence, I mean, come on, this is mega commercial modernism of the church out there. It's become advertising and meeting everybody's needs.
The most powerful authority in the form of written word that I have found, is you could say, well, the New Testament, but the Didache and a bunch of other related texts that scholars group together, and they speak to these animals. Most of these texts, all of these texts, the titles of these texts are never translated into English or the modern. Like the Didache.
I had about believing in the Didache. I assumed about yes, people believe in the Didache. My impression.
Well, probably the Didache is a teaching of the Lord Jesus. And it was communicated in the global life. And the first one of